Here we are, sleeper train. Supposed to get a seat, but here I am. I've got a bed. Very nice place to sleep in. Big room. Bathroom. That's alright. We are just gone up the plateau.
It's very bright. But there's no sun.
Well, I've got sun goggles and snow goggles. Just below Ben Macdui. And that big slope up is going up to Ben Macdui. Right here, we've got the Great Barrier. You can clearly see the long-lasting snow, continuous gullies, and I don't want to be standing on a corner, so it's going to collapse. But it's really amazing. Just off the plateau, down to Berwick, the Angel Peak quarries, and Ben Macdui straight ahead. Scientific evidence that snow angels don't come naturally, even if there's no footsteps going to them. There's usually someone going towards them and making a big mess. They don't occur naturally. Monsters do not create snow angels, they just live around peacefully. Yeah, it's a peaceful monster that doesn't make a mess. It does wear B2 boots, but it doesn't make a mess. And there's Simon trying to stay cold. That's myself with my weird looking goggles. Pretending to be in February, it's cold and miserable, but it's not. Ben Macdui, and I'm having my bit stodgy Mars protein bar. And there's a pork pie which has got less proteins than my Mars bar, so it's just got more filling than pork. Where is that? Moistens, is that? Oh wait, that will make more sense. And then Simon is cooling down with some snow. And as you can see, we are inside the ping pong ball in May. And it's 1 PM. And we have only walked 7 kilometers, yet I've burned 2,000 calories, probably Simon's at 4,000 or something. Made it. Looks alright.
You can use one of these taxi numbers.
Oh no.
Why is he frowning? Because Mahmood only smiles outside of photos. He always goes for this very proud looking.
Well, we're quite low down now, so we've just gone down to Loch Etchachan, just right here.
You say low?
Which is completely frozen. And we're probably going to camp on the other side, and then you can see Ben Macdui hiding in the clouds. So maybe we go up it, seeing as it's not snowy, and maybe it clears up.
Still the height of Helvellyn.
Yeah, so we are almost higher than anyone in England.
Oh, we're higher than anyone in England.
Loch Etchachan. Up here, the Cairngorms Plateau, Ben Macdui. Down here, Loch Etchachan, and behind it it's Cairngorms, hidden in the mist. You can see the steep paths and the quarries leading up in the big snow-filled gullies. The right hand side, you can see Ben Macdui. A bit in cloud, a bit clearing up, but we decided not to go up it just because it was too cloudy and a bit wet as well. Still drizzling. It's been raining for the last 4 hours. And here is a path leading down into the Falls of Avon refuge and the Hutchinson Memorial Hut Bossy. And up here is the path towards Derry Cairngorms and Ben Macdui up ahead to the right hand side. And you can see the crags, the Loch Etchachan crag, which is quite a famous rock climbing hotspot, and our tents just by the loch further down. Loch Etchachan is almost frozen. Today is the 13th of May, yet the loch is pretty much still frozen. There are sections which are about to melt, the temperatures are hovering just over freezing, and yeah, it's a bit cold for the start of the year. Very unusual for the snow cover to still be on the plateau. So the plateau was more or less entirely wiped out, mostly covered in snow. Most of it was soft though, but part of it, especially coming down this ridge, were hard compacted snow where you like need to kick in steps and be a little bit more careful. Again, as the gets later in the day, snow gets more compacted and more solid because of the lowering temperature. I'll make my way slowly back to where the tent is, but I will mostly avoid the snow fields just because they are deep and they might collapse, and I've left my ice axe and walking poles at the tent, so don't want to fall into a snow hole or something. But apart from that, what a great place to camp. There's frozen lake. It does freeze more than it melts over the year, but we're quite lucky with the weather, especially that the lockdown only really eased after a big part of winter was gone, so we only had a chance to get up here to the Scottish Highlands about a couple of weeks ago. That was the earliest someone could travel up. These are my footsteps from going around here earlier. Just basically walking around, wasting some time. It's about 7:30 PM now, but sunset is only at 9, so it's going to be bright for a while. It's expected to be very foggy up the hills all the way until late morning tomorrow, when it might clear a bit up Cairngorm and Ben Macdui. So that's when we aim to get up Cairngorm, and we'll be doing that by descending down to the border base, by Loch Etchachan, and then climbing back up from the saddle, which is a fairly less steep walk compared to the direct route, which you can see is filled with snow and looks a bit more like a very easy, not compacted snow gully, which in these conditions would be quite slushy. Put on gloves and you'd be reasonably alright. My pack is still wet, but most of my important stuff is dry, so don't really care. The tent is a little bit soggy on the inside, not sure. There's been too much condensation, too cold. I wonder how a more expensive tent does in condensation, but I'm probably sure it's not much better.
Yet. You can't die on camera either. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Munro demonstrating the... I think you're not confident enough for the BMC's videos.
No, I didn't. The bad example.
Oh, that's not a bad example yet. It took him a while to put the crampons on, as it always does. Crampons aren't easy. And what he doesn't yet realise is there's no snow after that. So, well, I'm hoping there'll be some snow patches, but it doesn't look like it, does it? We're going to get down there, go and find the shelter stone, which is hiding just over that way somewhere, and the beach, and yeah, head up, same as before.
Under the shelter stone crag, and up here that's Cairngorm. Plenty of rock climbing crags, and most of the snow has been stripped out, but you can still see the cornice. Shelter stone is down there. You can see a blue moving object. That is Thomas trying to get to the shelter stone. I can't be bothered, it's just too far away. Up here is the shelter stone crag. Very, very impressive. Then there's the famous big grade 1 gully, which is full of snow all the way to the top, with lots of ski marks. I'm sure lots of people have climbed and skied down this. And that's where we came from, where Loch Etchachan is. Path was a little bit steep. Some parts were covered in snow. Had to get in crampons or ski or glide down with lots of confidence, if you have it. And down here is the view to Loch Etchachan, which you can just about see. And this is actually the UK's highest beach, not Loch Morlich. Loch Morlich is not the UK's highest beach. This one is. There's a tiny bit of sand down there. You can actually see it, but it's now covered mostly in tide. But there is still a bit of a beach. So we'll be crossing that stream down there, and then we'll be going up Cairngorm by a saddle. There's the steeper path up Cairngorm, or down from Cairngorm, because people usually walk here from Cairngorm side, which is mostly banked with snow, so we're going to avoid that today. It's not completely frozen to the point that you can get it done with winter conditions, winter equipment, but it's a bit wet and slushy, so not the safest to walk on. But there's a path, a very nice path actually. Goes all the way down to the lake and eventually crossing that stream. And the stream comes from the pools at Ben Macdui, which we were walking by yesterday. Walking by Loch Etchachan now. Normally in our club we tend to refer to the lake walks as the more relaxed walks, leisurely walks that anyone without walking boots or anything can do them. But I must say, this is the boggiest, most bouldery lake walk I've ever done. The path is actually starting to improve now, but the previous section down here was just a boggy boulder field. Up here you can see a short shelter stone crag, very, very distinct. They're all 3/4 of the way up Cairngorms, coming from Loch Etchachan. Distance?
Distance-wise 900 metres, climbing-wise 200 metres.
Just setting off from Dalwhinnie Old School Hostel. Right behind me is a train station, and it's a very nice and sunny day here. You'd know you would think you're in the Cairngorms, but we're expecting showers later in the day. You can kind of see some scattered clouds, so I'm pretty sure it will rain. It might rain quite badly, so who knows, but there'll certainly be a shower at some point today. So we're aiming for the Cairngorms and the other Munro's outfit, which I can't remember or pronounce its name, which are both on this side. Very dull and boring Munro's, but they have to be done. They're only 282 and get all of them done. And staying in a hostel here with a couple of people coming from Glasgow and an owner who lived in the Highlands for 3 years. I feel quite bad about my Munro count. Yeah, I now have the top Munro bagger in Southampton Hillwalking Club, but I'm probably 10 times lower than anyone living in the Highlands. So if we get that moving, the Norse plans need to work on them a bit harder. Just across the road you can see the Dalwhinnie distillery, which is supposed to get an on-site license at some point. But anyway, not much shops around here. There is a rumour of a co-op somewhere at a pub by the train station, so that might be where I get dinner tomorrow. I'll be following the cycle track for the next couple of kilometers, and then I'll cross the A9, probably the most dangerous part of today's walk, and then it will be just straight up on a quarry track, which should be nice. Now I just need to figure out a way of crossing this road and I should be fine. Lots of people parked in the lay-by, almost full, so I guess the hills will be quite busy. So, up the track, Cairngorms. I think it looks exactly like Dartmoor. Moorland on both sides, some sheep, and a very long and continuous vehicle track. Probably very nice to mountain bike down it, but not up it. Keeping good pace, hopefully coming back in time. As the car park was full, I can already see some people coming down, so I reckon I'll meet others in the top. Should be quite nice. It's such a lovely weather weekend. Summer now. Now the summit's so nice and cool. You can see the Cairngorms plateau from here. I'm not sure if you can see it in video, but it's completely clear. Very snowy, just the way we left it, but very clear. Nothing like the very perfect visibility we had. You can see down the Clonfeshy and the quarries down in the Cairngorms, and the main inner Cairngorms, the part that, like, I'd say that's probably Antigasok right in the middle. But anyway, that's the path I'm following. That track will fade a bit later, and I can already see some other people probably going to the same Munro summit, which does have a trig point that I can just about see from here, so it's a really good day for visibility. I think if I look really good I should be able to see a trig point on the other side. still see Ben Alder. You can actually see the ridge side. Can't remember what it was called now. It's a very nice grade 2 scramble, grade 2 winter route. The north side of Ben Alder, looking like a very steep and pointy ridge, and looking gorgeous from that distance. There's not much remaining out here. Everything is mostly out. Early summer snow just remain in the stream bed coming down from the Munro summit. You can kind of see where it starts to melt and form mini caves. I'm pretty sure you can walk across it. You can kind of see dog footsteps over it, so probably support a person. But now that I'm going to try it, probably going to collapse. And that's the pass. It's not on the map, but it's pretty visible, hard to deviate from. Right now, you can see clearly Glenfeshie on this side, or at least the very edge of it. Central Cairngorms and the very uninspiring summit cairn of Cairngorms. So here we are. Very nice 360 views. A bit cloudy now this afternoon and starting to feel maybe a little bit of a drizzle, but it looks sunny where I just came from. So just gonna stop here for a while, catch our breaths, maybe eat a snack or two, and then head back towards where we came. And yeah, view towards the Ben Alder and the Ben Alder burn looks really good between both the Gilcon and a big massive and Ben Alder massive. Leaf now, so quite cold and chilly, gloves and waterproofs out, but not waterproof trousers, it's not that bad. And yeah, sleep is just makes lots of noise but doesn't wake you out too badly. So I only got to get down the hill, it took me less than an hour to get up, so should be less time to get down, and then we just follow the A9. Who knows, maybe I get a free lift or something, but yeah, shouldn't be with that, especially not with COVID. So Loch Etchachan looks really beautiful from here, although the last thing you would want now is more water, and all these lakes, rain should never come as a surprise. Full waterproofs on, very wet, heavy shower. You can kind of see a glimpse of sunshine, to be fair, but the sunshine seems to only be on the west of the A9, so Amway's got that spot on. Apparently the A9 is a natural boundary between horrible weather to the east of the A9 and good weather to the west of the A9. So I wonder what the A9 itself will look like. I genuinely do hope it's going to be nice weather, but I can see where I came from. Right, straight ahead. I just need to turn right at that junction. My view over to Cairngorms from Dalwhinnie's Old School Hostel. That's my room. See lots of overpacking, stuff that isn't suitable for summer. Camping remains. Nice place to be in overall. So that's my final day. Hopefully be able to get out today. So we'll see. Just got myself a lift, which saved me a very long walk in from Dalwhinnie down here to the base of Gilcon, where the bed and breakfast is, and some nice cottages. That is straight ahead is Gilcon, and another Munro, which I need to figure out what is it called. To the left hand side. It's looking quite nice actually. Much chillier than yesterday, but also warm up as we get up the hill. Summit of Gilcon. Not sure how much exactly is left, but not much, because I can see the plateau right ahead of me. Weather is improving all around. Pretty much open views in all directions. You can just see the Cairngorm Plateau and Cairn Tool from here, and clearly see the Munros I've done yesterday. Being very quiet and very big. You can see the forest on the side of Loch Etchachan. I'll be able to see the loch itself once I get into the summit, and I should also be able to see views down to Ben Alder and even maybe the Nevis range. So just need to get up that final slog and I'll be treated with much nicer views. exactly at the summit now, and that is such an amazing view over to Ben Older. That's the summit Cairn. Actually, I'm not sure which one of these is the summit, but I'm going to sleep a bit. I'm going to take off both and then head back down. Such an amazing 360 view. The Cairngorms plateau covered in snow, similarly the Cairn Tall and Berwick Massif. Ahead of me, the Fowler, very famous Corbett. Probably the most beautiful view I've ever seen of the Scottish Highlands. Just look at it, looking really calm and nice and quiet. You can kind of see the state buildings, the castle looking very fancy, and then the mountains and the hills in the background just looking amazing. Endless views for miles, and from here you can actually see to the north of the West Highlands, still covered in snow as well. So I'm going to sit here for a quick bite and short break just to really enjoy the view, because the forecast is supposed to stay clear for a while and going back to the real world tomorrow, so I might as well get the most of the day. You can see Loch Etchachan extending all the way back to Dalwhinnie, which you can just about see further in the distance. Quite a long way really. Could possibly just make my way down the hill from here and go back by the lake, but that would make my walk a little bit much steeper, because this hillside is quite rough compared to the pass on the other side, which is very well maintained and very nice. Now, it's got those small patches of, I don't know, some type of grass, heather. I guess I was probably trying to fix something in the landscape, probably just burned that part of the moor and then they're trying to get it to grow again. But a very unusual site, and looks very organised for a place. It does feel quite high and remote, but it does remind you of how managed. Summit shelter. Probably sit down here and have lunch. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, those hills that I can see between Ben Older and Annach are the moors. The Ben and the Great Quarries are actually hidden by Annach, and the big hill to the left, which has got some snow on it to the left of Ben Older, is the Bucharest of Moor in Glencoe, and then the Bridge of Orkney Hills to the back, and I guess that's probably around the Ben Lawyers area, and that's the end of the Highlands. We can pretty much see all the southern Highlands from here. Quite impressive. The pass is actually really nice. It's actually got steps. It's one of the best passes in the Scottish Highlands, maybe. I didn't know they do a pass like this in Scotland. It feels as if I was walking on Snowdon or one of the Lake District fells or something. Just very easy underfoot. So still boggy in places, still a bit discontinuous because it's Scotland after all. But yeah, a very easy pass, and you can then see it becomes a vehicle track all the way to the car park. So if you're ever after a leisurely, easy mountain day in the east of the Cairngorms, west of the Cairngorms, then that's a nice place to be, and it doesn't disappoint with the views on a clear day. So I'm just at Alderman Row walking now, and I'm just walking around Dalwhinnie, and I've come across this parking that probably only allows hill walkers. Not sure how they do that, but yeah, I've been arguing with someone for the last few years on what defines a hill walker, so I'll probably look for the person for this sign and ask them for opinion. Hills. So I was just coming out of Dalwhinnie into the Benolda estate, and that's the state office, that castle-like building, which has got a road following on the forest track that goes all the way to the lodge, which is right below Benolda, as you can see in the background with its snowy cover. And that's Loch Etchachan, looking pretty dry. If you look down, you can actually see where the water levels are, usually when it's a bit wet. But I guess we haven't had that much rain recently, so weather is fairly dry, and you can see there's a huge kind of a shingly kind of beach. I'm just walking here over the dam, and I'll be coming back by the forest track. It's a very leisurely and relaxed walk. Actually great on a bike, but I decided to just walk it, not go too far. But when I come back around here, I'll definitely be getting a bike and going down to the Benolda Lodge. Not Benolda Cottage, been there before. Shower outside. Here I am indoors. Back into the real world. Couldn't help it.